I think that really it's shifted to more complex selling, and that's all for the good. I think manufacturers, they need strategic partners. So reps, honestly, they need to be experts in the products that they sell. We need to provide solutions. So we're not just taking orders. We've never wanted to be order takers, but that's not really where our benefit is. We need to provide training. We need to provide troubleshooting options, engineering support to R&D. The relationship and the selling starts with R&D and product development, but it doesn't end when the purchase order is placed. So I think that we are an extension of our manufacturers and the suppliers we represent, and they need us to be strategic partners.
I'd say, well, almost exactly what you said, Joe. Like, I think it's evolved quite a bit over the last, we'll say like 5 to 10 years, where in the past, it was much more of like an order taker type position where people are kind of making the, so-called milk route type calls and just showing up to distributors and asking if they have orders. Now, I think a lot more is, like you said, they're a partner, they're an extension of the sales team of the manufacturers. And they're really, as a manufacturer, we have to rely on a strong rep network who, knows the product, knows the end user customers, knows the distributors, and basically is able to, kind of carry the sale from cradle to grave, so to speak. They need to be able to do that and not just show up and say, "Hey, do you have anything for me?" That's really what I've seen the evolution of the reps over, the last 5 to 10 years on my side.
Yeah. And it makes it a lot more fun for us as well when we're getting down
That's
and
right.
dirty.
Exactly. And I think as a manufacturer, I agree. It's the same on our side. Like it's, there's a lot more confidence in the rep agencies to be able to do that and not have to micromanage and say, okay, you need to go after this, you need to go after that. Just, you get them up to speed, you let them be an extension of your sales force and be able to train, your customers, your end users, like all that stuff without, having to constantly be the one involved in it. So it lets us be, on our side, we're a smaller family-owned business, so it allows us to, have a much bigger reach out into the market by having a strong rep network.
This is kind of intertwined with the first question. We have to be an expert. We have to know our product line. We are the front face of the manufacturer. So first and foremost, with all of our lines, we have to know our product line, we have to know our customers, and we have to understand what their needs are. We have to find the fit. We have to target who's an appropriate customer and opportunity for each manufacturer. And then we have to be a resource for our customer and vice versa back to the supplier. And that again goes back to your initial question of providing training. And then we just have to offer options, and that works. We like to take on lines that marry together. So if we're there, we might be there for one principle, but we see an opportunity for another principle, and they're intertwined. Again, knowing the product, knowing our principle, knowing the customer, and finding the fit.
Yeah, then on the manufacturer side, I think again, it's very similar to the first question. In terms of how I work with our reps, is we have to educate them first and foremost. Like Joe said, like they're our front face, customer facing portion of our business. So we have to educate them. We have to get them up to speed and comfortable with our product, where it goes, applications for it, our customer base, like where those intricacies are where they link up with their current lines too is nice as well, right? Because we want to make sure we slot in nicely with their current product lines, and then kind of onboard them, get them up to speed, and then really kind of let them go themselves, make some joint calls over the course of the year so that everyone can learn from each other, and then not have it be kind of an overbearing situation where you're saying every month, I got to go make calls with you. I've always approached it as I get people educated, I give them all the support that they need, and then I like to say I'm the person that helps remove roadblocks from them selling, right? Like, if they need pricing, if they need, whatever it is, technical information, samples, like, I want to be the enabler to allow them to be successful. So that's kind of the way I position myself is, get them up to speed and then be a resource and help them, call in the customers and end users to be able to sell the product.
Yeah, and I'm going to highlight that. That is a huge benefit. And I love to make calls with our principals. You always, first of all, you get to know them better, but to show them off, and they are the best way to get in to see someone. You learn so much when you're with them. You may already know the product, but just bringing the expert in, you learn a lot. Showcasing your customers to them. For a successful relationship, I think that needs to be ongoing. Making joint calls together.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's just a positive. The digital, we're all, in one way or another, we're all going to be going digital. It offers time savings. If it's easy for our customer to do business with our company, we like that. And a lot of them like to go online and see what's available and place orders. And as we stated before, that's not really how we sell. We sell through relationships, offering technical support, um, getting working with engineering on product R&D. It's more than just being an order taker. So if it saves them time to be able to go online to place an order, I'm 100%. I'd rather not be spending my time on checking inventory. Certainly will do it. But if it's a resource to our customer, I also think it provides a great tool for some data analysis. And that's just something that could benefit us. So it just reinforces that our job is not just to take orders. We have to be there to build, develop, and strengthen that relationship. I think it's good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good. It's another channel for people to buy product, which is good. As Joe mentioned, like the educating the customers on the product and getting them interested in the product, like then they can buy however they want, right? They can buy from the distributors that they like to buy from. If they want to go buy from an online, source, that's fine. If our distributors want to go online and buy, see price and availability and order through our website instead of picking up the phone or, calling up somebody and say, hey, I want to do this order, that's fine too. I think, for the most part, we're looking more to drive, larger projects and stuff, which really wouldn't go through online buying, is what I would say. Like, yes, is all that fill-in stuff great? Absolutely it is, but we're looking to catch some bigger fish for the most part, and those are typically always going to run through, the reps and then the manufacturer themselves, where, we'll be doing special quotes or stuff along those lines. But no, I'm all for more channels for them to buy. It's better for us as a manufacturer if they're ordering online because it's less touch points for us, having to have someone pick up the phone, answer an email, key in an order. It's easier for us on that front. So we definitely appreciate when customers and distributors, do their daily purchasing on our website or through our platform. But yeah, I think having more options is great, is kind of the takeaway from it.
Yep, agreed. Well, that's how Kyle and I met. I mean, it may not, it was either through an industry association or through training. Our, salespeople can get a bad reputation. Relationships and building and networking. The Fastener associations provide education. They provide insight on the industry. For those people that think that you're there you don't want to in exchange interact with your competitors, just don't get it. There's so much, the people you meet, it enhances the education, what you know about your industry. And it's not just product knowledge. I mean, you can share information about, not share information, but you can learn about resources on how the digital era is affecting our industry. There's a whole plethora of opportunities to grow, but our industry, especially, I would say this applies to any industry, you have to rely on the resources that are there for you, and networking and leveraging your relationships will help the supply side, customer side. I can't see it being successful without the help of our industry associations.
Yeah, I think the industry associations are, it's a great avenue for networking, for, camaraderie, for, pitching ideas, getting business ideas, like how companies are running. I know I personally have had a lot of success, meeting and interacting with other people in similar senior level positions at other companies where, we've been able to pick each other's brains about how, how we're going to market, what programs we're doing, how are we approaching, business in general. And then, yeah, sure, are there some competitors in there? Absolutely. But, the fastener community is a very tight-knit one where they're always looking out for each other. I would say, even if you're maybe competing on some things, like everyone's looking out after each other. The association events are just a great way to continue that relationship building. Like, and Joe said, like the training side of things too is like, it's great because there's avenues to do training through, those association events and various people that are associated with that. So I think all those are just another way to keep in touch with people, build relationships. As Joe mentioned earlier, like really so much of the selling is based on relationships, and getting the opportunities to be able to pursue relies on having a strong relationship And, those are fostered by going to these association events throughout the course of the year, meeting people, staying in touch, seeing them year after year. Some of them we'll see each other 6, 7, 8, 9 times a year. And that just continues to build your relationship and your network. So I think they're an integral part of it for sure.
Yeah, and I think as though our industry or any industry is kind of going more digital, it provides a good in-person touch with the events that they have. And I also think it's great for employee retention and for nurturing younger employees or newer employees to exposure, just expose them to what's available in our industry. It's a great way to include them and give them an overview of what our industry has to offer. Want me
I'll
to
let
start?
Joe touch that one. She's pretty heavily involved in that side of things. So
Yeah, I'm very heavily involved in training, fastener training, because I think it's for one, I think I'm involved because I feel it's important that I give back to our industry, but I think there should be a huge emphasis on product training and technical training and quality training. And I think that's important for the employees. And I also think it's important for the end users, the people that use our product. On the employee level, the more that anybody knows about the fastener, the more confident they're going to be. They're going to be able to sell it better, identify opportunities for application, understand how it works. That enhances our industry. The end user, I don't think there's a lot of education on how fasteners work. So I think there should be, and there should be. I mean, fasteners they keep everything connected in one way or another. So I wish there was more of an emphasis, but I will tell you that there's a lot of classes available through the Fastener Training Institute. They range from beginner level classes to online webinars to very technical multi-day classes or even on-site classes. So I think there should absolutely be an emphasis in any industry, but especially ours, on product knowledge and just understanding the specifications and the quality requirements.
yeah, so I'll kind of tackle the question from, a learnee of of the training side of things. So for me, like I've completed the certified fastener specialist training, which is the 5-day more in-depth advanced course where you learn a little bit about everything, all different types of fasteners, coatings, specs, and that type of thing. So for myself, like I did my undergraduate in mechanical engineering, and we definitely had no fastener related classes. Like I knew nothing about fasteners before I got into the industry. And like Joe mentioned, like it is a pretty integral part of how things go together and stay together. And I think that there is definitely, I don't say a lack of education, but there's limited education in the marketplace about fasteners for people that are outside of dealing with them on a daily basis. So I think the ability for people to do everything from 1-day webinars to multi-day courses, or kind of get an education over the course of a year on some different classes. Like it's just great for the industry as a whole. It's great to educate everybody, let them learn about the different types of fasteners that are out there, even if it's not what you do. It's good to know what's out there, because really everything goes together in some capacity to form a bolted joints and other things like that. Even like our inserts that we make, like they can be part of a bolted joint as well. So I think, yeah, being able to learn more is always great, and having avenues to do that is great. And we talked about association events, and we didn't mention trade shows, but a lot of the trade shows, like the Fastener Training Institute does, a day or two of classes, so people can kind of get some additional education when they go out to those trade shows. Again, it's just about building, employee knowledge, employee retention too. Like, they feel more engaged and valued with their company when the company says, okay, we want you to learn more about what we do or about what our industry is. So yeah, I said education's key, and I think it's a great opportunity that we have in the industry, having like Fastener Training Institute and other channels to be able to learn more about fasteners and just kind of continue to grow.
And I think just staying abreast in what's new and upcoming, like lightweighting, EV, how can we fasten that, and how, as an industry that supports those and we sell into those environments, those applications, we need to know what fasteners are accommodating those new materials. So it's a great way to stay informed of new trends as well.
And sometimes we have to be the ones to educate the engineers and customers, our customers, about
Always,
what's out there and how it
always.
works. And
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's very common where they'll maybe they just know one particular thing, and you kind of have to open their eyes to other options or solutions. And the more you know about it, the more you can be an asset to them and educate them. and let them make the right choice for what's best for their projects. So.
Yeah, yeah. I love to just be a resource in any way, provide a resource for our customers.
Yep. I don't think so. I think we kind of covered the main things. Like I would say, like my main takeaway, like regarding the rep agency side of things is I think there's just such an invaluable part of our industry, and for us as a company, like rep agencies are, they've been our way into the market for 40, 50, 60 years, like, and they continue to be that way, and they will continue to be that way for us. Is they're just an invaluable part of our sales team, and they're what allows us to get in front of so many different customers, and allow me to do what I need to do on the corporate level, and allow them to be out there in the field, seeing people, and working on continuing to build the relationships and sell the product. So I think it's a great thing, and obviously Joe and Desert Distribution we're happy to have them on board and continue to work with them. So
We're excited. We love it. We love working with Easy Lock. We really do. It's a great fit for us.